So this is a special code word.
Go.
Go. We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. A full commitment's what I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy. I just wanna tell you how I'm feeling. Gotta make you understand. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you.
Oh,
Never gonna
man.
make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie and hurt you.
All right, fantastic, Torre. Just rickrolled all you fools out there. And
So-
with that being said, let's get into this game. Andre, great intro there. Thank you for that, Torre. You should really think about professional singing. Anyways, we've got Empire Cause spawning down here at the bottom of Crossfire as the Purple Terran. Up here at the top, we've got ATN Darkforce spawning as the Red Zerg. So I look forward to seeing what these players are going to be able to do, as this is a very heavy macro map, as it is very far from each other's bases. Why don't you go ahead and let us know what's up, Andre?
So, this is a Crossfire. Many of you, or not many, maybe some of you might not be too familiar with this map, so I'm going to give you a small walkthrough through this map. And of course, thanks to Tarai, everybody who was trolling us, who was giving us some hate, just got counter-trolled big time.
Yep.
So, here we have the
Just
natural...
got served.
Absolutely. So, here we got the natural expansion. Natural expansion got a relatively big entrance, but still defendable. A little bit easier than, for example, on Metalopolis or than on, let's just say, Zelnaga Caverns, for example. So if you want to take a second expansion, you get two choices. Choice number one is in the bottom right corner for the bottom player, for the top player in the top left corner. It's a normal expansion, no gold nor rich Vespine geyser, normal 8 mineral pitches. Or the second choice will be a gold expansion on the right side for the bottom player or on the left side for the top player. Then we got another expansion. It's a little bit more hidden, only got one single ramp as an access. It's safe to build there, because once you can control the ramp, you're pretty much safe. But now it comes to the interesting part, the middle of the map. You can move up this ramp, and then you are on one plateau. But there is some Zelnaga watchtower, but this Zelnaga watchtower only can be accessed from the other side. So with melee units, you have to run around like crazy. You have to be able to just not only be on one side, but on the other side of the middle as well. Same goes for the northern part of the middle, where we have a Zelnaga tower, for example, which is currently occupied by Castus Marine, who is now running away because he spotted a Zergling who was about to run in.
Yeah, and you know, those Zerglings did have to take a long path to get to that Zelnaga watchtower, so because they were able to get there, they do see that Marine does get out without being seen, but this Overlord checking that out anyway. But regardless of all that, it looks like Darkforce is moving out with some Zerglings, taking up map positions, watching out for what's going on. These two Marines will deal with these 4 Zerglings, but it looks like one of them will lose their life, and yes, there it is.
And one more important thing, by the way, about the map, I nearly forgot it. It is each main base got a backdoor entrance, and this backdoor entrance is leading right to the second expansion here in the corner. And there are 2 ramps to access this corner expansion. So just I want you to stay this as well. And by the way, Kaz went for a relatively fast orbital command. That's why he's now throwing down some bunkers at the bottom, getting a tech lab here to go for some fast upgrades on his infantry units. But take a look at Darkforce. He's just building Zerglings over Zerglings over Zerglings. He's not going for some more gas mining, not going for a Baneling's Nest, but he wants to make something happen with the Zerglings here. And he's just going for more and more and more.
That's right, and Metabolic Speed Boost should be done very soon. It'll be interesting whether he goes in to do an attack ASAP after he gets that Metabolic Speed Boost. And it looks like these Lings are actually starting to move across the field now. Just as Empire Cause finishes up and lays down that orbital command, he is throwing down another bunker as well. Here come these Zerglings with the speed, going right up against that first bunker that was already built and has those Marines in it, trying to take that down. They will be able to do so and are going to deal with these SCVs and Marines. The SCVs are off the line, trying to use their fusion cutters with all might and will not be able to do so. All those forces getting taken out in front of Empire Cause's base. It looks bad for him already.
It certainly does, but I mean, no hope is lost just yet. Not all hope is lost just yet, because he still got the second orbital command, and because of the fact that Darkforce was mainly focusing on the Zergling production. Look, he's got 44 Zerglings on the field, but only 23 drones, and Kaz with his double orbital command is able to produce quite a lot of those. He's still got the STEM research going, he's got the SCVs at the front, just getting some bunkers up in case of Darkforce deciding to go for a Baneling bust, but looks like Darkforce now continued with the gas mining here in his main base, and he's started with the drone production once again, so he only got those Zerglings left as a possible threat, meaning, okay, I can run into your natural, I can take you anytime, so you better not get out of your base, and this is exactly what Kaz is doing. He's producing the SCVs, but only up on top here in his own main base.
And that makes sense. You know, he may be down, but he's definitely not out, as Kaz is still trying to look strong here. We see these Zerglings now hanging out on that top plateau right outside of the natural expansion, maybe doing a push right when this expansion does get laid down. Now, there is an Overlord here that is keeping an eye on those mineral patches, so once some SCVs start going, then these Lings will actually know about it, and they do a little bit of a poke to find out already that that expansion is down and out.
And I mean, Darkforce is doing a brilliant job at delaying this natural expansion here quite a bit. And when I was talking with Darkforce, reminding him of the tournament, he said, yeah, okay, sure. And then he was asking me, who am I playing against? And I said Kaz, and the only thing he said was, oh shit. And now he is up one game and doing not too shabby in the second run as well.
Definitely, and it looks like Kaz going for a little bit of a drop here as he does drop those down on that Zelnaga watchtower. These Lings do know about it, and this Overlord did get a full eye of that medvac dropship, and that's why these Lings decided to poke back into their base. And it looks like Darkforce actually going for another expansion here on the top left of the map.
And Zerglings moving in the middle. Kaz immediately stimming, trying to run away. Of course, it is too late for his tank to siege up, so he is trying to make the most of it. There comes some more Stint Marines in, and this siege tank survives with 1 freaking HP left. But this attack was a really, really good one for Kaz, because he only lost 1 siege tank, but took out so many Zerglings. Let's take a look at the units kill tab, and there we see 64 units were already killed by Kaz, and I guess all of them, or nearly all of them, are Zerglings. So take a look at the units lost tab. We see Kaz is still behind because he lost so many buildings and units that early in the game, but he was able to tie up the units lost count here quite a bit, and judging by the harvest account, we see Darkforce is still ahead, but not that much.
Yeah, that's right, and it looks like the economy is starting to swing in Empire Cause's favor as he is getting more and more of those mules out, and it is helping him out indefinitely. Now, with this third base going down from Darkforce, he will start to take the advantage into the economy here, as he is also starting to produce those Banelings, getting centrifugal hooks on the way out, so Baneling speed will be down, getting that creep spread out, keeping that queen up next to the creep tumors that he is continuing to lay down, and this creep train is going down strong.
Yeah, and this is really important as a Zerg player on Crossfire. You need to reapply this creep all the time. Darkforce's queen is getting attacked. Queen will go down. Tanks are sieged up in time, so those banelings by Darkforce might not be too effective here. Darkforce realizing this, pulling back his forces, not going for an attack, but he's using his Mutalisks to lure those Marines away from the siege tanks. Baneling rolling over there, trying to take out the Marines. At the same time, the Mutas taking out all of the siege tanks, and even though a few of those Marines are still alive, this attack has been repelled once again by Darkforce here.
Yeah, great freaking defense there from Darkforce, using those mutas to lure those Marines away. I did like that play. A lot of Banelings did lose their lives in the siege of the tanks, but the fact of the matter is the other Zerglings were able to get by, and a few Banelings even made it there themselves.
Absolutely. And Let's just see where we are right now. So we see 43 SCVs compared to the 48 drones, but still Darkforce got this expansion up in the top left, and I actually could see Kaz go for some drops here. He's got a lot of Marines, he's got a lot of Medivacs, Muto's trying to do some damage here, will not be too successful. Let's see. Yes, there are some missile turrets, but not everywhere. A couple of those add-ons here at the buildings are actually a little bit vulnerable, and that's why Kaz is currently using his Marines to defend against this. And every time a Mutalist is just poking around the main base or the natural of a Terran player, he is forced to stay at home. He cannot move out or risk
That's
some
right.
heavy losses here to the Mutas.
And, he does have those turrets up, but there are blind spots in his base where those Mutalisks can go in and attack. And it's definitely right, Andre. Poking in with Mutas will cause those Marines and the main forces from a Terran player go back to their base to defend successfully. But look at this. We've got a drop that may have been going down, but it did get taken out as more of these Banelings are rolling forward. The Zerglings taking out all of these Marines, and it looks like Kaz just lost all of his Marines right here, right now, in the middle of the map.
And this is actually not looking too good for Kaz right now. He is behind 20 supply right now, even a little bit more. And he's he's producing more tanks, he's producing more Marines, but already Darkforce was able to catch him here off guard with his tanks unsieged. And when those tanks are not sieged, those Banelings started to roll. All you can do is run, but he was not fast enough.
That's right. And more Banelings, more Zerglings all over the map here for Darkforce as he continues to poke around with his Mutalisks. Won't be able to get in there successfully as there are a lot of turrets around and there are more Marines out in play, which will deal with those Mutalisks. These Marines do have the +1 attack upgrade as well as the Stim Pack Research and Combat Shield. So they are all ready for blood and ready to take down any Zerg forces that come their way as long as they aren't rolling, bouncing Banelings.
Absolutely. And speaking of Banelings, 25 Banes are currently morphed in here by Darkforce. The +1 is just halfway finished, so he was sacrificing his ability to go for some upgrades in order just to have some more Mutas and just more stuff out a little bit sooner. Darkforce currently on the 3 bases, not having fully saturation here on the base in the top left. Kaz now finished with his command center. He is about to land it on the bottom right. There's a Zergling waiting there. Kaz now sieged up with his tanks, like the position very much because he just is able to just catch the left and the right ramp with the siege tanks even a little bit. There are the Marines getting surrounded by the Zerglings. Not all of those Marines get away, and all of them are going to die once again. And Kaz not having many Marines here to deal with those Banelings and with those Mutalisks especially, but for the moment he was able to hold their Darkforce off, getting up the command center, not just yet because of this single Zergling. And the Zergling's doing a good job at just preventing this huge command center, this biggest building possible for the Terran race, not to land here.
And it will go ahead and land just as the attack comes in from all these Zerglings, Banelings, and Mutalisks, taking out tank after tank, Marine after freaking Marine, and it is a disaster zone in Empire Kaz's new expansion, and it looks like the GG will be placed down from Kaz as Darkforce does a GG as well and takes the win, bringing him to 2 points to 0 for Kaz. Now, just before we go here, take a look at that. If you looked at the map there, Darkforce had the whole map in his employ. He saw every single detail of that map besides inside of the main Terran base, and I can't believe that map coverage. That's fantastic map awareness and just great play overall.
Absolutely everywhere where he did not have any creep spread. He had Zerglings, he had those Overlords, and just he was. If Kaz is moving out, Darkforce knew it. Darkforce had enough time to prepare, and he was prepared all the time, taking out Kaz, and now he's up 2-0. So let's see what map Kaz decides to play on right now. So we got Shadow Temple, we got Metalopolis, and Testbug left as the maps of choice here for Kaz.
All right, well, let's see which one he decides to go with. And hopefully he can turn this around for himself.